you go, there's the tabs and notation, but if you want to hang around for a few minis, we'll break down some of the tricky parts and talk about some of the cool bits. Prince's 1987 top 10 hit from Sign of the Times was actually written back in 1979 when Prince recorded a pretty comprehensive demo version. As far as I know, Prince played every instrument on both versions, including those extended solos on the end of the album version. Now there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of guitars weaving in and out of each other during that section of the song. And I have no way of telling how many passes were played on which guitars to compile that 2.5 minute jam. But I can definitely hear the following. There's a clean electric playing those funky little parts. It sounds to me like his Hohner Tele. He plays those short clipped phrases with a percussive attack. It's very Prince-esque, like the blue note bends, you know, he pulls the first finger down to get that little quarter tone bend. The repetition. The syncopated stabs of partial chords. It is Prince to a T, that section. 2, there's a dirty lead, but it's kind of throttled back using the volume knob. This sounds like the same guitar from the main solo, possibly a Cloud with its weird mid-rangey frequency response. I reckon this was recorded after the funk guitar because it kind of answers and mimics and repeats some of the phrases. And the third most obvious part is a repetitive C7 motif. It's just a few notes that kind of morph a little bit and change slightly, but kind of pins the whole thing down in the background. It's really hard to hear, it's quite muddy. I'm sure it is guitar though, even though it sounds a little bit synthy because there's really no vibrato on the notes, which makes me think it might be an acoustic guitar. There's not a lot of sustain on it, there's a quick note decay, and there's also a quick delay on it as well. I just played it on my Tele because it was plugged in and it was easier, and I don't know what he used. I just love the funky chordal motif upon which Prince builds that second section. There's just so much clever improvised variation going on in there, but it's always in the pocket. It reminds me of the insanely funky Ella Feingold, who I just love. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed when I try and cop these kind of riffs when my own field drifts all over the place. A common Prince funk lick is this kind of pull off and hammer from nowhere that he often does. This little section with its wide 3-fret bends, its pre-bends and releases, and its loose phrasing, it reminds me of early Eric Clapton. And I love this great little lick where Prince ends by moving his bend up a fret to become a major third rather than a minor third. So clever. And finally, this amazingly chaotic little turnaround. There's just so much going on, and I can't make any harmonic sense of it. But it works. It's like a big mash of notes that then resolves somehow. Beyond my jazz comprehension to understand. I don't know how he comes up with stuff like that. Now the main dirty lead tone has like a half note delay on it, but only on certain phrases. So Prince either switched his Boss digital delay pedal on and off during the performance to manage that, or by adding it in post and then writing it in the mix, which is what I did here. Now the song's at a quite pacey 148 BPM, but I actually wondered if the main solo was recorded with the tape slowed down to 120 BPM, because that would put it in the key of A instead of C and make those high bends much easier to reach, as well as any pacey licks much easier to play. And the second section, that chordal part, that seems to make more sense in the key of A. I just feel it's a bit more natural. But in the end, I can't really prove that he did it that way, so I just recorded it up to speed in C, because the last thing I need is bloody Sapco or Jacubra Records coming after me. This bit is Troublesome. I slowed it down and I listened to it heaps and I wrote it out many different ways. In the end, I think Prince is just tremolo picking the B string and ascending, moving up the neck without any plan for what notes he's going to hit. It's just a quick little ascent. That's what I ended up doing, and I think it sounds pretty effective. Thanks for watching my channel. I have a few Prince clips and breakdowns if you're into that stuff, and transcriptions for all my lessons may be found via my Patreon, where you can also flick me the couple of bucks that YouTube should be paying me for bringing people to watch their bloody ads, which seem to be getting longer and more annoying by the day.